llamas.
Llamas?
I have a collection of llamas.
That's
and over
awesome.
the years, as teachers have, they've known about my fascination with llamas. I have a huge collection just as gifts over the years. No, Guardians of the Galaxy. So I wish I could take a picture. I have a huge Groot collection. Love Groot. And I'm a big Marvel fan.
Yeah. That Star-Lord dance-off scene cracks me up every time. So that's great.
Soundtrack too.
Yes, it's great. Some of your background, you said that you were an assistant principal there within the school for a while, and then your boss got moved up, and then you had the opportunity to go for that job, which is amazing. Congratulations. You've only been in the spot for a few months, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I was thinking about our current teacher of the year, who was one of our teachers in the dual language program, and I was just thinking about some of the qualities that she possesses. And I think at the top of my list is somebody who is warm and inviting and supportive. One of my favorite TED Talks is with Rita Pearson, and she's one of the lines in her video is, "Children don't learn from people they don't like," and that is absolutely true. I'm all about relationships first. So I think in order for children to learn from their teachers, they have to have that sense of warmth in their personality. They have to be engaging, and children have to be able to trust the teachers that they're working with. So that's at the top of my list.
Well, that's great. I'm not going to give any spoilers for our presentation just yet, but you talking about relationship just among the staff and the team there, relationship with the student. I'm sure that would extend towards families as well. Being so key there, and the professional development. It's amazing. So looking forward to maybe finding out in our presentation some more on that. But it's great. That's already a part of your heart and mission for what you are looking for in a teaching staff. All right. So we talked a little bit about teachers. What about students? If you had to choose a Student of the Year award, what are some criteria that you would look for there? Maybe what are some of the things that you're trying to inspire as being developed within the students in your school?
Yeah, this was a really good question. And I think first and foremost, I'm going to go again with the relationships. It stands out when a student shows empathy towards others. I think as educators, it's an opportunity for us to raise good human beings that show good character and look out for each other and aren't afraid to speak out, when they see an injustice going on, especially just with everything that's been going on over the last year. There's so much that our students are exposed to. And I think I'm just really proud of the work that our PBIS team has done here, where we do focus and recognize students who show those, good character. So that's at the top of my list. I think the pandemic has also showed us that the importance of being resilient. Our students have faced unimaginable challenges at home, and we were all thrown into this situation. And just to see how they've been able to jump back, having them here in person has been amazing to see them make the transition from distance learning back to in person. And there have been times where we've had classes who shut down, back to distance learning, and then back to in person. So just seeing that flexibility and resilience in students has been amazing for me to witness. As educators, one thing that we're always looking for is how do we build self-motivation in students? So when you see a student who is naturally inquisitive and always looking for ways to expand their knowledge, I think it's incredible to see when a teacher is able to develop that sense of self-awareness as who they are as students. So I just love to have those conversations with teachers and how we can build that self-motivation in students, because I know that's not only important in their educational journey, but it's an important life skill.
If there was a prospective student and a family, if they were coming by your school, what would you say to potentially convince them that they should be looking at your school as first choice?
It's interesting because I was so excited when the opportunity came for me to apply for this position at Old Orchard. And one of the reasons why I was so drawn to this school is because of that family-oriented type of community that it offers. It is a small school. It's one of the smallest schools in the district. And because it's a small school, you do feel that sense of connectedness to the parents, the teachers, the students. A lot of our families live in the neighborhood, so it's just an extension of the community. So I would tell our parents, if you're looking for that small family-oriented type of school that's supportive and embraces that homeschool partnership, then Old Orchard is the place for you. And I'm really excited now that we get to expand on that community because of the addition of the dual language program. So if families are interested in providing their children an opportunity to develop a second language, build their cultural awareness, then the dual language program can offer that for you.
Yeah, that's great. The dual immersion program sounds phenomenal. Interesting that you were talking about the home and school partnership there. Do you have anything that you want to add on to that? Like, what does that look like in your school?
Yeah, we have, it's a small, again, because we're a small school, small but mighty PTO. One of the programs that we did offer here when I was an assistant principal was a Latino Literacy Family Project that I was able to implement here at Old Orchard. And it was one of the best programs that I've ever been a part of because of the impact that it had, not only on me as an educator, but on the families and the students. And if you don't mind, I can go a little bit into that program.
Please do. I'd love to know more.
So what it is, it's really just addressing the misconceptions that some of our Latino families have about their role in supporting their child's education. And what this program does is it gives them the platform and the resources to be able to use their home language, their culture as an asset, and instead of viewing it as a deficit. And we use bilingual books as the premise for the program, so that parents are actually teaching their children to read in Spanish, and the children are teaching their parents to read in English because the books are bilingual. And over the course of 6 weeks, we taught them different literacy strategies, but along the way, I was able to integrate personal stories. So I use my own stories. I encourage them to use the book as a foundation to make connections with their children. And it was interesting. Some of the families shared with me, like, I never shared that story about my childhood with my second grader or with my fifth grader. And because of the program, they're getting to know more about my background. And for me, a pivotal moment was when I was able to bring my mom in and share her story, because my mom was an immigrant. She had to drop out at third grade to help her family. Wow. And just to be able to share her story about how, yes, she was not literate, but what she was able to provide for us at home was just a support and to ensure that our education was going to be a priority. That really hit home for a lot of our parents. And the program ended with it was actually a graduation ceremony. We asked the students to come and witness their parents graduate from this program. And it was such a moving and powerful celebration and ceremony, because these parents had never had that opportunity to be celebrated in this type of setting in school. And it just really helped create that bridge that we were looking for. So that was years ago when I was an assistant principal. And now that I'm back, the first people that reached out to me and said, Ms. Ramirez, you're back. We have you back. It's those families that I made that connection with. So now we're actually looking at bringing this program back in the fall of next year. And we'll do 2 parts. We'll bring in a new set of families, and I'll have one of our teachers implement that year 1 program. And then I will carry on that a year 2 program with those families that I had connected with years ago.
That's incredible. So
yeah,
I love
it really was. It's one of those experiences that if I could, I would replicate over and over again, because it was so powerful.
If you, and I don't know if you have an assistant principal yet or not, but let's say you hired Mallory for the job. I'll just shamelessly plug my teammate here. Yes. If you had to give your assistant principal, a new one, one task, and this was your hardest task and most important task to accomplish, something that we really needed to get going for our school to be successful, what is that one thing that you would change? And maybe it's this program now that you're talking about. That sounds like it's a passion of yours. So maybe it's that, or maybe it's one other thing that you would try to address or have that person address as the first order of business.
Funny you mentioned Mallory, because since I've arrived in the last couple months, Mallory and I have had multiple conversations about our intervention and progress monitoring systems, or lack thereof, because that is something that I've been in this district for over 15 years, and I feel like we keep reinventing the wheel. I've been at 4 or 5 sites in this district, and depending on which site you go to, everyone takes on a different approach, and then you're kind of starting from scratch. And in talking to Mallory, it would just be amazing if we could have a systematic, comprehensive intervention program that also has that progress monitoring component. So that is like one of the first things that I would have her tackle. But just to clarify, I don't function as this is your task and this is my task. It's we're going to tackle this together as a team, because we're both going to learn from each other. And I don't want to, you know, I always want to have my hand in everything, only because I know that when you have a good thought partner, and that's how ideas really develop. So it's something that I would want us to partner with. But if I had that opportunity to have a full-time AP, I would jump on it. And intervention, progress monitoring would be at the top of my list, because especially now with all of the learning loss that we've experienced as a result of the pandemic, I know that we have a lot of work to do to get our students caught up, meeting grade level standards, and we have to intervene, and we can't wait. So that's definitely a priority for me.
Yeah, I hear echoes of you talking about collaboration and how important that is for those that you would hire. But I see that in yourself and wanting to model that and working with others. There's a saying in our class where you'd be surprised how much you can get accomplished if you're not worried about who takes credit. And it sounds like you're wanting to work together towards a positive goal in that. Pretty amazing. So
absolutely.
I also hear some of you wanting to continue to develop those around you and provide those opportunities, and saying that it doesn't have to be me in charge. Like, we can work together as a team, and you can grow your skills here as I'm leading, and just it sounds like a great opportunity. So
yeah, you nailed it. That's right. I would definitely highlight the program that I just mentioned, the Latino Literacy Project, just because it had a profound impact on me as an educator, and I saw the impact that it had on our families here at Old Orchard. And obviously, fostering the homeschool partnership is at the top of my list, so I would definitely highlight that. I think one thing that I started a few years ago here at Old Orchard, and something that I'm now continuing, so just to bring it full circle, is the work that we started with the instructional leadership team. And it doesn't have to be about a position. So it's me as a principal doesn't mean that I'm the leader of the school. It's about how we build leadership in others. I can tell you one of the things that we're going to tackle is our vision and mission, because that's something that's just, I remember that being a conversation that started years ago, and I'm just happy to continue that work. And I am really grateful. I just talked to Mallory too, and I was telling her because I am actually preparing to unpack our single plan, and it's just the timing of your project with my work. I mean, I couldn't have asked for better alignment, and I'm very appreciative of the work, the analysis that all of you put into just unpacking our data for, you know, and looking for trends. And I am happy to share that one of the suggestions that your team did provide in terms of focusing on writing, I just shared that idea with our assistant superintendent of instruction, and she thought it was brilliant. So we're going to that is going to become one of our school-wide goals. So I do want you to know, and I did share that with Mallory just a little while ago, that your work, I did take, you know, I not only took it into consideration, I knew the amount of work that you guys put into that. So I do appreciate all of your efforts.
Well, thanks for the opportunity. I know we, in our program, we have a lot of requirements that we have to go through, but we wanted it to be so much more meaningful than just checking a box and doing it. Yeah. We wanted it to be something that you could use, and I'm humbled that you were able to not only consider it, but potentially move forward with it. So yeah, I'm very, very humbled and honored by that. So thank you. Yeah. And I got a great team, so I want to go and acknowledge their contributions and efforts too. Yeah. So. I'm
excited to see the presentation on Thursday.
Yeah, we are so looking forward to it, and definitely looking forward to having you be there on the Zoom with us for that. Well, Daria, thank you so much for taking the time. I know, like I mentioned earlier, first day back from spring break, it's super busy. You almost feel like you're playing catch up, I'm sure, but you allotted almost 45 minutes here for us. Yeah, very
my pleasure. Thank you so much, Peter, for all of the work, and I can't wait to see the final edit.
Awesome. All right, well, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.